There is never a time that anxiety has produced any form of result. Good morning, you're welcome to Daily Dose. I bring you word from the Lord. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, don't worry about anything, but in all your prayers, ask God for what you need, always asking Him with a thankful heart. So there are quite a number of instructions in that particular thing. The first thing is that remove anxiety from your life. There is never a time that anxiety has produced any form of result. In fact, anxiety makes things a little bit more worse than what it is. So Apostle Paul was writing to church in Philippi, and he started giving them this instruction, saying to them that when you go into the presence of God, as you begin to pray, always ask Him with a thankful heart. This is the same thing Jesus said to them when the disciples asked Him, teach us to pray. It says, when you go into the presence of God, hallow the name of Jesus, or hallow the name of God. That when you stand praying, He was saying to them that the reason why your prayers are not answered is that you are not going to Him with a thankful heart. Anyone who goes into the presence of God and does not know that the first protocol to accessing heaven is thanksgiving, you have missed the point significantly. And while people say that, my prayers are not answered, is because you went to God with murmuring, with complaint. God does not respond to murmuring. God does not respond to complaint. You will see what Apostle Paul said to the church in Romans. He said, remember how your ancestors were. He led 2 million people out of the land of Egypt, brought them into the promised land, into the desert, and they were murmuring and complaining. They had manna, they had spiritual food, they had found serious conversations, but they did not understand that God had blessed them. They didn't understand the dictates of what God did for them. So when we understand the dynamics of it, that a thankful heart would always receive things from the Father, it is a guarantee that when you go into the presence of God with thanksgiving, you enter into His courts with praise. Jesus said that the next thing is that He will begin to reveal His own will to you. Once He reveals His will to you, you can then pray effectively. But thanksgiving must proceed. So when you go into the courts of God, understand that this is it. Anxiety is removed with thanksgiving. When you start to thank God for the things He has done for you in the past, your heart receives what they call a measure of faith, that the same God who did this in this time past will do this as well. This will not be an exception. You cannot tell, what's his name now, Joshua, who was born in the wilderness, that God is not faithful. He understood that the way to accessing heaven is by first of all giving thanks to God. After giving thanks to Him, you enter into His court with praise, and then He begins to reveal His intent and His will to you. In that same place, you will know, even before you left that prayer place or that prayer altar, that your answer has come. This is what Daniel practiced. A lot of the patriarchs also practice it. If you read Hebrews 13, it says by faith, these people entered into this. By faith, they subdue kingdoms. By faith, the women received their dead back to life. And so what we need to understand is that we must be full of thanksgiving. Our life must be a life that is perpetually yielded to God in thanksgiving. I hope that has helped you this morning. Until tomorrow, when I bring you another word from the Lord, please keep liking, keep sharing, and subscribe.